Building a better body is a balancing act now between exercising and eating right.
Enter the new food plate. Unveiled in June by First Lady Michelle Obama, it is intended to make healthy eating much easier. The plate replaces the pyramid and gives a better visual of portion size. It lays out what each healthy meal should include and about how much, including fruits, grains, vegetables, and protein, as well as dairy. Now, you want to make sure half of your plate, 50%, is covered in fruits and veggies. Other foods to increase in your diet, whole grains and fat-free or low-fat milk. You'll want to stay away from sodas and foods high in sodium. And when it comes to eating healthy, the question for many families is how to do it while staying within your budget.
Not easy. So we posed the question, how much do you get for your money? And what is your shopping strategy if you're a family of 4? 2 working, busy parents with 2 kids looking to buy food for 2 breakfasts and 2 dinners. Very specific. So our expert, Sue Nitsky, is with UW-Madison's Extension office. The key for Sue was to plan a menu, stick to it, and don't overbuy. For breakfast, Sue picked 1 cereal with milk and 1 yogurt with fruit. Then for dinner, it's chili with sweet potatoes one night and tuna melts with coleslaw another. Ready, set, shop. We begin in produce. The first thing our nutrition expert Sue does is break the rule of sticking to the list.
Well, actually, we're going to start with something where I changed my mind when I got to the store.
She planned to use frozen peaches from home, but then spotted a rare, obvious deal for breakfast.
But when I got to the store, I saw that they have blackberries for that one of these little cartons is only $1.
Next, we follow our list to another popular produce pick. Okay, so for one of the dinners, we're going to need peppers.
Right, and the chili recipe I like to use is mostly vegetables. A lot of beans, a lot of peppers, and then you can put some meat in it if you'd like, either ground beef or turkey or ground chicken, but it doesn't need that. You can just use more beans. Now, they're beautiful peppers in all kinds of colors. The cheapest ones are the green peppers, and for chili, green peppers are fine.
Right. Sue grabs a jalapeno too, and over to potatoes we go. In this case, yams or sweet potato, since red and orange veggies are one of the best sources of vitamins A and C.
I like them because they're a nice orange-red vegetable. They're on special very often, especially around the holidays. And you can bake them just like a potato and put a little salt and pepper and maybe a dab of butter on it, and you've got dinner. You can bake it in the microwave if you're in a hurry.
Next, we hit the bread aisle for our chili and tuna melt.
Brown bread is not necessarily whole grain, so look for the words like whole wheat on the ingredient label and make sure it's a whole grain bread.
From one of the easiest steps, a gallon of skimmed store-brand milk for our family of 4, to one of the hardest.
The next thing we're going to buy is yogurt. I find the yogurt aisle to be one of the most confusing places in the store. There are so many choices. There's special kinds of yogurt that are aimed at children. I find they almost always have a lot of added sugar, and I would like them to aim especially not for children. A plain yogurt, and then add your own fruit, and if it needs a little sugar, put it in yourself. Here's a big carton of an all plain yogurt that seems to be a good price. I mentioned this is a busy family on a school night or a work night, so I'm thinking we're going to go for a package of sliced cheese for our tuna melt.
And speaking of easy items that can last a while.
But for a general money-saving, convenient item, I recommend having a couple of these sleeves of frozen orange juice in the freezer and then just thawing it out and mixing it up as needed.
For $2.09, she'll have enough OJ for her family for several days, and just make sure it's 100% juice.
Here I find myself with a dilemma. The store this week has a special that I can get 3 boxes of cereal for the price of 2.
A good deal, but only if you'll use it all. Sue picks 1 box and reminds us not to let a great deal get in the way of your budget. And don't forget that whole grain rule again.
Your best strategy is to look at the ingredient list again. Ingredients, whole grain wheat.
Right. On to another main meal.
For our tuna melt, we're going to need some tuna. And for 4 people, I'll probably want to buy a larger can. And it's chunk light tuna. That'll be fine for a tuna melt sandwich. So that's what we're getting.
Also in the canned aisle, beans for chili. 1 can of black beans, 1 can of chickpeas, both inexpensive and good for you.
From the standpoint of nutrition, you can't get to be a better deal than beans. Either canned if you're in a hurry, or if you want to cook your own, the dried beans, either one.
Finally, the meat aisle, another complicated and often expensive one.
When you're buying meat, always think about portion sizes. Try to keep them from not being extravagant.
On the way to the checkout, an easy side dish from the store deli.
Could I have a pound of the sweet and sour coleslaw? I'm going to pick the one in the back, the sweet and sour, just because it's a little lower in fat, and I like the fact that it has lots of different vegetables all together in there, and I think it'll go very nicely with our dinner.
And now the big moment, time to pay up. For a family of 4 for 2 weekday breakfasts and dinners, our total is only $28.02.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
And
everybody was pretty happy. Sue wanted to be sure that we pointed out the checkout is a dangerous place, not just because we're handing over our cash, but because of the temptations there, and they're costly, sweets, treats, and magazines. But she does believe we should bring the kids shopping to teach them how to shop, the difference between healthy and unhealthy foods, and to appreciate it also when it's time to eat it.
And we're going to post the shopping list as well as the recipes all online at channel3000.com. Many experts say having that shopping list is the key to stretching your budget. So is buying in season or even frozen produce. Another tip, create a meal plan for the week. You can make the most out of the things you buy by preparing those fruits and vegetables in different ways. And you heard it earlier, but it's worth repeating. Focus on shopping the outer store aisles, the perimeter. Skip those aisles with temptations, especially if the little ones are with you. We're also looking at misleading food labels tonight.
How do you know what's on the box is really what you're getting when you check out? The side nutrition panels are regulated by the FDA, but those on the front are not. And marketers can be very sneaky in their claims, even the product placement. So next time you're shopping, you can try to notice the items down at your child's eye level and look right past the claims on the front of the boxes. Instead, check out that side panel and focus on the top 3 ingredients.
The Institute of Medicine is trying to cut through that confusion by coming forward with its own solution. The group is proposing a visual rating system, one that's quick and easy to read. It would go on the front of food packages and show the number of calories per serving. It would also contain 0 to 3 stars. The more stars highlighted, the better the product.